Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Sean here bringing you another how-to video. Today we're going to be removing the door panel on a 2016 and newer Mazda MX-5 Miata. Specifically, we'll be working on my 2020 MX-5 RF in the Grand Touring package. So let's take a look at what we need. We're going to need a small Phillips or JIS screwdriver. It doesn't have to be quite this long, that's just what I had. And then a small pry or trim tool could be helpful as well. Otherwise, you can get away with just using your fingers. So let's go to the car and I'll show you why we're going to be tackling this project today. All right, so here we are on the passenger side, and I've actually got this thing going on both sides. I recently got some tint installed on my RF, but I noticed just the last couple days here, my wife and I went on a bit of a date night drive, and we took the RF, of course. And so I noticed there's this panel gap, and I do not like that. You can see how much of a gap there is. Now, I'll say this. I did recently get some tint installed, but I'm not certain that that gap wasn't already there before getting it installed. I don't think it was there, but I'm not that guy. I can't pin it down that it was the tint shop that did this, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe this issue was already there before. I do have it on the driver's side as well, just not this bad. The passenger side is significantly worse, where it seems like that door panel does not want to stay flush right next to that window. So let's take a look. I think if I can remove the door panel, I can see what's going on. I did some forum reading and found that the top should be kind of hooked on the top and then the bottom clips placed in. So maybe it's just a matter of something came loose. So we'll take a peek, but the first step we're gonna do here is you'll remove the rubber trim piece inside this. Then we're going to remove this Phillips screw with our either Phillips or JIS screwdriver. Okay, now that that screw has been removed, we're actually going to take this back plate out of the handle. Okay, so it's behind, it's this black trim piece, kind of a cut piece behind the actual door handle itself. We're gonna pry on this side. I'll have to show you the final product after I do it myself, but I'll pry this inside lip and I'll be able to remove that back piece behind the door handle. That'll expose another Phillips head screw that we're also going to remove. Okay, here's what that piece looks like. It just sits in there. And what I did is I pulled the handle with one hand and then I pried right about here and just was able to pull that, release it from the tabs that you can see are on the back side. Now you can see the exposed Phillips screw. We're gonna go ahead and remove this one. Now that that Phillips screw is also removed, we can start to pop the door panel loose and release it from the actual door chassis itself. So we're gonna start probably down here. We're gonna go just inside this rubber seal. And I'm gonna start by getting the clips loose on the bottom. We're gonna have tabs or clips, kind of pop clips in there, all the way up to about here. And then on the other side, all the way up till about here, okay? So we're gonna release the bottom first and then kind of upward lift up and away from the door to release it. Now don't just yank that thing and start walking away, because of course we have electrical connections that we're gonna need to release. And then also the door latch assembly itself has a cable that's gonna be attached to the door chassis. So just be mindful of that. When you are pulling that door panel, if you get it off all at once, don't just yank that thing. We wanna be careful to disconnect those connections first. Okay guys, I did get the door panel off. I just wanted to show you quickly where all of those pop tabs are exactly. Right there, 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 there. Keep following me around. This one was actually kind of slotted into a groove. There's one there and there. And then you can see how the top basically has these hooks and this ledge or this lip that hooks onto the door itself. And there's another one right there. By the way, I do have some protective mats. Don't set your door panel on the floor. Of course, you risk some scratching. So now let's go to the door and I can show you what I had to remove. So this piece here, just simply pull back a little bit from the panel and it will pull through and can kind of just dangle here. That can come through. So that's easy to remove from the actual door panel. And then here are the two wiring plugs for the harness. And you can see how these work. You simply push that tab. This one was pretty easy. This one was a little trickier. The tab was on the other side there. And you know, you can get them. I got them both pretty quickly. But anyway, now I'm going to take a peek and just check out. Again, this is that lip that I don't think was properly installed. So I need to find out if on my door panel or perhaps here on the door somewhere there's a clip or something that wasn't connected right. And this could be as simple as I just need to reinstall it. It looks like that actually was this, these little tabs here were popped out. So maybe that's my whole problem, is this would popped out on its own. But if that's the case, this could be a super simple fix, but I want to just investigate a little bit, see what I can find. I know that the door panel needs to kind of hook behind this ridge here, and I just want to make sure everything is reassembled properly to try to get rid of some of that door panel gap. Okay, I was able to reinstall the door panel, and you can see my gap is gone right now. I think what was happening is those two little black tabs that were popped out, I think that panel piece or trim piece was creating a little bit of a bulge, and then either when the window tint was installed, maybe they were trying to peel this back, and that's where this top panel piece came out of being hooked in. Or again, maybe it's simply a matter of just the door was closed too hard, pop those plastic tabs out, which then were pushing against the door panel, creating a bunch of that gap. But this is how it should be. You can see it's just so much tighter along the window itself, and looks way better, first of all, and is going to do a better job sealing and kind of keeping that window clean and everything inside the door panel nice and clean. So what I did though to reassemble it is first I started here and I fed that back through. You can see kind of how the inside of that, there's a couple little cutout tabs and plastic pieces that need to get reinserted. Not super hard, but could be a little tricky, especially while you're trying to hold the door panel up. Then I plugged in the two wiring connectors here for the window switch and the door locks. Once I got those in, I hooked in the top. So I started with the top corner, especially the one that I had an issue with, right? Got this nice and sealed behind that door chassis, and then I ran it all the way down and made sure this side was hooked in nice and tight. Then I went down the panel, popped in these plastic clips first. I did notice too, one of the plastic clips was retained by the door. It came out, it didn't pull out with the door panel. So I had to remove that from the door chassis itself. And then that was a little tricky. I used the pry tool to get that plastic clip out of the door chassis. And then I just slid it back into its spot on the door panel. So you might have to do that in case any of those pop out for you, or I should say don't pop out when you remove the door panel. And then I just went step by step across the door panel, made sure everything was popped in. Now I'm going to reinstall this screw, then put the plastic cover piece over it. Should just pop, kind of snap into place. Then I'm going to reinstall this screw and put in that black little cover in there, and that's the process. So hopefully this could help out somebody else in case you might have a similar issue. I'm going to go tackle the driver's side now, and I'll hope to be able to report back that everything is good to go. If this video helped you out, please like and consider subscribing for more how-to videos on your ND. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.